Michigan. How are you? How's everybody doing? I wanted to talk to you guys about the two Amigas, the announcement of, well, let's just say we're going to have some new competition. We're going to have some choice on ballots going forward, elections going forward. We're going to have a plethora of choices. And the two Amigas is going to be one of those choices. And I think you guys would be very happy with the idea of having two immigrant mothers, young women, beautiful women inside and out, that have a lot of skin in the game in the city of Wayne, you know. And they understand what poverty is like, and they understand what being subjugated is like, and they understand what corruption feels like. I just spoke with one of them today about all the problems that the city of Wayne, Michigan has. And really the biggest theme that I can come up with is just a lack of care, right? A lack of motherly love, a lack of motherly touch, right? This woman used to live in Detroit, Michigan, and she was telling me about all the things that Detroit, Michigan had that was more functional, right? Everybody knows how dysfunctional Detroit, Michigan is. And she was just going example by example of all of the things that the city of Detroit, Michigan, who doesn't even do them well, but does them better than the city of Wayne, right? And you would think for a city so small like Wayne is, that we would be able to have, a really intimate approach with our government, right? Where our government actively conveys information to us, keeps us up to date, keeps us engaged in the process, gives us a voice, right? Gives us an opportunity to be heard. Instead of what we have now, which is essentially the city of Wayne, Michigan, accountability is only available on the outskirts of town, right? Accountability is only available in the shadows, right? I live on the biggest piece of residential property in the city of Wayne, Michigan. And I have come to the realization in the last 2 years that outside of my home and, maybe a couple others, there's no accountability, right? There's no accountability in Wayne. I mean, you go through the heart of Wayne, and accountability will get you thrown in jail, right? A camera phone will get you thrown in jail. Asking questions will get you thrown in jail, right? Engaging in freedom of the press, that'll get you thrown in jail. And so most people, I would say at least 80 to 90% of the people in Wayne are good, honest, decent people that you would want to invite over for a barbecue, right? People that you would trust around your children, right? I would say 90 might be stretching it with the children part, but I would say a good 70 to 80% of the people in Wayne that I've encountered more than this, but I like to be conservative with my numbers. But the majority of Wayne is filled with decent, honest, trustworthy, good neighborly people, right? People that, the reason I moved to Wayne in some regards was, or the reason I've stayed, right, is because my neighbors have been unrelentingly supportive of me and my family and our efforts. And the majority of people get it. The majority of people in the city of Wayne, they understand that the only way our city is going to improve is we have got to start putting principles before personalities, right? Now, obviously, if you have a strong personality that's willing to speak about principles, well, that's, that's your golden ticket right there. And then if you can get several people, which I have assembled, a coalition of people that truly want what's best for Wayne, and you guys know it, right? There's no doubt about it. And for most people, that's all they want. Yeah. Stop driving and listening. DG, I don't know what that means. Driving and listening. Killjoy 3096. Jail first, then the milking parlor. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a conveyor belt, right? I mean, the slaughterhouse has a lot of different moving parts, but that's essentially what it is, right? You suck somebody in, like it's like a force field, right? It's like a black hole. You suck them into this degradation, right? This life of, you get to sit in jail without bond on 23-hour lockdown, solitary confinement, no health care whatsoever, no sort of real health care, right? Nurses that, I mean, the things that I saw, I mean, in Wayne County Jail, right? Wayne County in general is really a cancer on society's ass. I mean, overall, I'm not talking about, right, there's obviously plenty of good communities in Wayne County, plenty of good people, but the Wayne County government, which is mainly Detroit, right? It's irredeemable, man. It really is. The city of Detroit, governmentally speaking, is morally bankrupt. And it's, like I said, it's an idiocracy. It's not a meritocracy, right? It hasn't been a meritocracy probably since the 60s or the 70s or the 50s, probably, if I'm being more precise, right? So, that is wild. It's wild to me that people that live in Detroit would tell you that Wayne is more dysfunctional than Detroit. If that doesn't get your attention, then I don't think anything will. So, how we got here is not really important. The fact of the matter is we are here, and we are here to stay in Wayne, and we're here not to make Wayne great again, because from lifelong residents, people that I've spoken with that have really seen what Wayne has been throughout the last 65 years of existence, right? The city of Wayne, that is, right? Because we have collectively kind of come up with the agreements that the city of Wayne's never truly been great, right? 1965, everything was already going downhill anyways by then. Really, like I said, in the probably late 50s, mid 50s, that's when things started to come. That's kind of when it peaked, and then of course we have a peak, and then we have a decline. We have a bell curve here, right? So we're hopefully kind of bottomed out at the bell curve here, and then now we can start ascending again back into a community that that functions, right? A community that works, a community that is lively, that is communal, that is informative, right? We want a government that informs our taxpayers and residents what's going on, right? Because otherwise the engagement, that's kind of the strategy though, right? In the current administration, the current regime is that the city kind of wants to keep citizens in the dark, right? That's why their bulletin board literally has nothing on it really that's informative or useful or thought-provoking, right? It's kind of by design, right? It's so vanilla by design, because then people become disengaged and they don't, like the city website is a joke, and it's out of date. doesn't work properly. We're still trying to figure out who actually runs the city website, who's in control of that. And yeah, I mean, the Facebook pages are a joke. Nothing really works in Wayne, right? And you know, it's time for the people of Wayne. I mean, it's always been this way, you know, since 1965, since, you know, Wayne's existence. Wayne, back when it was a village, from what I can understand, used to be great. And you know, so I guess make Wayne great again would be make Wayne a village again, make Wayne smaller in the sense of, like, you know, bring it back to, okay, maybe we need a mayor and, you know, a couple people, but, you know, a council, a full-time fire department where you guys have Wii golf tournaments and watch YouTube videos about guns right in the middle of the day. You know, I've been down to the city of Wayne fire department several times, and I don't really see any real work being done. I don't really see it. Just kind of it's cosplaying, right? It's cosplaying like you're a real city, and it's like we're not. This is a village, and there are virtually no active structural fires in the city of Wayne. And if there is, I mean, there's a plethora of municipalities surrounding us that could easily be called upon to take care of those fires, right? Those few that'll ever happen, right? Like one every 10 years or something. And, you know, based on what I've seen from the fire department, we've gotten to know each other quite well, unfortunately, because they, you know, just fancied my property so much, which I get it. It's a really nice big piece of property. It's probably the same size as, you know, Gowdy Park and City Hall, right? I mean, it's a sizable piece of land. I mean, you can zoom out on a map and you can locate it and you can circle it, right? So it's not insignificant in the grand scheme of things in the city of Wayne. And with Zook Pond, I mean, that's going to obviously increase the quality of our watershed tenfold, right? And, you know, we're going to do what's necessary to not only preserve nature, but to enhance nature, to promote nature. Zook Pond, I mean, that's just the beginning of the watershed improvement projects that I have planned. But that certainly is the, you know, centerpiece, right? That is the, you know, the main thing that we have to, you know, the main hurdle we have to, really the only hurdle we have to jump. And so once we get that, we'll be in good shape. Killjoy 3096 still got the Fords there. Yeah, there's still the, you know, that's the thing that blows my mind about the city of Wayne is, like, that Ford factory alone, the taxes that you would obtain from that, plus just the, you know, the dispensaries and some of the businesses on Michigan Avenue. I mean, you got two Ford factories, and there shouldn't be a lack of money. There shouldn't be a lack of funds. There shouldn't be a lack of opportunity in Wayne. Of all places, I mean, Wayne is, like I said, a few square miles, right? Of what, 6 square miles total, I believe it is. 3 by 2, 3 miles by 2 miles. So it's a rectangle. And 6 square miles, about 1/4 of that is parks or the Ford factories. So I mean, really, you're only really talking about 3 square miles that you actually got to maintain. And it's really unfathomable that, you know, the city of Wayne has so little in regards to public services. You know, like, you'll show up in Wayne and, you know, you're in the parking lot, you know, 1 o'clock on Friday, and they close down at 1 o'clock. City Hall does, right? All these people coming in 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, wanting to pay their bills, wanting to handle their business before the weekend, but they can't because we have reduced hours. And you know, you look at your tax bill and you're like, Jesus Christ, you know, to give you a stroke every time you open the envelope. And you're apparently not supposed to take offense to the lack of services and the lack of customer service, right? That's the biggest thing, right? It's like we can be a small, close-knit community, have limited resources, but we can also provide stellar, excellent, world-class customer service to our residents and our taxpayers, and to our visitors, right? To anyone who shows up on our doorsteps, who shows up in our presence. We can treat them like Jesus Christ would treat them, and there's a happy medium, right, between what the dog shit we have now in the city of Wayne and treating somebody like Jesus Christ. And I'm not saying that we're ever going to get to that the perfection like Jesus Christ, but we can get to a place where we're erring more towards that way, right? We're erring more towards in the way of Christ, in the way of the Constitution, in the way of reality, right? Of common sense, of empirical observation, of objective evidence, right? We can err towards that than whatever the fuck we have now, which I'm not sure what you call what we have now in the city of Wayne, guys. I'm really not sure about that. And so, the two Amigas is essential, right? Because really the city of Wayne, if we're going to transform the city of Wayne and bring it into the 21st century, we got to be willing to understand that we need some motherly love in our community, and we need some women, we need motherly love, right? And that's where the two Amigas come in. And so I'm advocating that if we're going to make Wayne great again, we got to go in a completely opposite direction. And that means not even white men can fix this problem right now that we're experiencing. And I'm being kind of sarcastic, follow me here, but I'm speaking in metaphoric, obviously. But no, we need some motherly love here. We need like the Virgin Mary to come into the city of Wayne and to save us and to heal us, right? Because the city of Wayne, has been abused. The taxpayers and the residents of the city of Wayne, Michigan, have been just decimated over the last 60 years, and we can only do so much, but we got to start somewhere, guys. And I don't even think I think I'm more effective not being mayor and not being the mayor pro tem and just being a regular councilman, right? That's what we've decided to do. Is my wife Louisa buys, and we're not going to tell you just who yet, because we want to keep it a secret, right? No, you'll find out, you'll know. But my wife and a good dear friend of hers has decided that enough is enough, right? Enough is enough with the antics that the city of Wayne continues to employ and continues to engage in. And a lot of people are unhappy in Wayne, man. A lot of poor services, exorbitant taxes, and really dysfunctional government. Workers, mainly at the top, right? Obviously, but just a lack of training, right, from lower employees, lack of respect, and just a complete lack of customer service. That's the biggest thing. And so we have to elect the two Amigas, right, for mayor and mayor pro tem. And of course I'm running for councilman. I'll always be running for councilman and or mayor, right? Which, the word mayor in Wayne as it currently sits is meaningless because it's really just another councilman. And so we're going to vote to change that, right? To correct that. And so, we obviously need a new mayor and a new mayor pro tem, but we need a majority on the council. And we need 4, but really we need 5. And so me and 2 other undisclosed individuals, we're all going to be running for council. And I'm going to be taking control and leadership of that, of the council, and making sure that the council doesn't do anything to hinder the agenda of the two Amigas. And so I guess the 3 Amigos and the 2 Amigas is what you guys are going to get. And like Juan Pablo Duarte did back in his time, we're going to be doing the same thing. And we're going to be taking control of the city of Wayne, and we're going to be restoring dignity and decency to it, right? Because the city of Wayne, as it currently sits, is illegitimate and is it's got village level services at big city taxes, right? So you're getting village level services and customer service, which is ironic though, because the villages that I've been in, a lot of them actually have really good customer service, hometown customer service, right? Friendly, down to earth, helpful, resourceful customer service. And for a town so small, there's simply no reason to not have that, right? And not to be footing a big city price tag for it, right? So, I mean, that's just goes without saying, right? And then, of course, all these bullshit, void for vagueness, unconstitutional ordinances, well, those got to be repealed, and, that's just what it has to be, man. Because otherwise, where are we going here? I mean, we're just right now, the city of Wayne is a turd that's circling the toilet bowl. And, there's just simply no reason it should be like that, right? And so with a few changes and a few adaptations and a few improvements, right? Some common sense improvements, and getting rid of regulations and taxes, and getting rid of abusive government, right? Getting rid of a lot of things, right? Everything's on the table at this point, right? I'm not saying that we don't need paramedics in the city of Wayne, but to have a full-time fire department, I don't know. We have to look at the cost savings of that versus, well, we can just have, we can just contract it out to Westland, to Romulus, to Canton Township, to Inkster, right? I mean, there's options here, guys, and maybe just having a smaller, more condensed paramedic, just paramedics, emergency response. But as far as fire goes, having fire trucks and all this and that, no, that's just, like I said, it's just you're just pissing money away, guys, for literally nothing. And then, of course, you see what these certificate of occupancy inspections get you, right? That the fire marshal conducts, Jeremy Schneider. You see what type of, you see what you get with those. You get, you get poorer, right? You get $500+ stolen from you, and then you get harassed on your property for utilizing the same things that were approved in the certificate of occupancy, right? So you get thrown in jail for utilizing a fire pit that the city approved, and you get to spend 90+ days in jail over it, house arrest for months, and that's it's not something that we can continue, guys. It's not something that we can continue. And the 2 Amigas, the 3 Amigos from the city of Wayne, Michigan, obviously Latino run, strong, lawful immigrant women, right? Mothers, and that's what we need right now. In other words, people that have real stake in the game, right? People that have children, young children, and who live in the city and do business in the city, right? We're tired of the abuses, right? And I know they are. I know the two Amigas are. I've spoken to them at great lengths, and they're just ready to help. They're ready to document, to help, and to brainstorm and come up with innovative and creative and new ideas and common sense ideas, physically responsible ideas, and financially feasible ideas, right? That we can employ to get the city of Wayne back on, or on track for the first time, I guess, in the city lifespan, right? I'm sure the village of Wayne at one point was gorgeous and world class and peaceful, and nobody bothered you, and you could be left alone, and you could raise a family, and have a cookout in your backyard without going to jail, and the finer things in life, right, guys? And so I believe that we can get back to that. And hell, I even believe that the city of Wayne can be prosperous, right? Like it can, that Michigan Avenue in the city of Wayne can rival Dearborn, and it can be a beacon of hope to lawful immigrants as well as Americans, of course, right? Because our lawful immigrants want to become Americans, right? And so lawful immigrants, people that want to wait in line, they want to pay the taxes, they want to go through the process. Those are people that we want here. We obviously don't want people that just skip the line and just come in illegally. That's obviously not something that should be rewarded, but women that care, women that are mothers, women that are God-fearing, right? Christian, believers in Christ, Catholic, Lutheran, and that's what we need. If we're gonna begin to correct some of the enormous problems that exist in the city of Wayne, Michigan, we got to be willing to call a spade, guys. And I will be the vocal microphone or megaphone. I'll be the vocal megaphone, and help in any way I can to turn this shit around, because I'm tired of seeing it, man. I speaking for myself here, I'm tired of seeing the degeneracy and the laziness and the complacency and the status quo, and the unconstitutional antics, and I want to live in a city where my government puts its people first and puts its constitutional rights above anything, right? Because that's what government is for. The government is for people. The government is for residents and taxpayers and visitors, and for anyone who's involved in the community. The government is supposed to be helpful, resourceful, and polite, and decent, right? And we just simply don't have that. We don't have a government that operates in good faith. We have a government that is only interested in keeping its own existence going at the expense of quite literally everybody else. And so we have no choice. We have no choice but to, of course, run some younger, beautiful, lawful immigrant Latin women, right? I don't know how else to put it, right? I mean, I'm just so excited for these two because, they really care. They really care about their community, and they really want what's best for Wayne. And they're so sweet and sincere. My wife and her good dear friend. Some of probably the sweetest people I've ever met. People that really, truly care, right? And it's kind of yin and yang in the sense where they complement each other quite nicely. And I just can't wait. And I just can't wait to be a part of the Wayne City Council, so I can help to ensure that this agenda is carried out, and that we get some prosperity back in our city, So that's That's what we're here to do. Hello, friend. Hope you're having an amazing day. Keep being you, because there's only one of you, and he seems awesome. Been in and out of the hospital all month, so spreading kindness where I can. That is from Onyx Zamira. I'm not sure. But yeah, thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Sorry that you are going through your health struggles. I do hope that those resolve promptly and swiftly, and you're able to get back to living life, your best life, right, at full scale and full speed. So thank you again for those words. That's truly heartwarming. But I do have to run into the UPS store real quick, guys. So give me about, a minute, and I'll be back. You can leave or you can stay, but I have something to take care of real quick. But yeah, 2014, the U.S. Army was still hardcore. Boot camp was, basic training was. Some bases, right? Like I was at Fort Sill, and the company that I was in, the battalion that I was in, was very hardcore compared to the shit now. And we were abused, man. We were abused back in 2014 still. But it was around 2016, 2017. That's when the Army especially got really soft. They got really cuddly. And that was kind of the peak of the wokeism, the woke. And 2020 COVID, it just blew up, right? It just went bananas how crazy it is. So now it's kind of starting to go back to being difficult and challenging again, right? And, I don't know where I was going with that, but Just a little history lesson for you. The U.S. Army, it used to be really bad, right? And then it kind of got a little better, and then it was still hardcore when I was in them. It was fun. But nowadays, we'll see. I heard they're making a comeback, though. They're trying. I love the Army. I really do. The Army is, to me, it's the greatest branch because imagine, you're gonna just you're gonna go take over somebody's country and then you're gonna go live in it. McLovin! McLovin! What up, McLovin? McLovin. I just saw McLovin, guys. I just saw McLovin. So, yeah, we can't wait to make you proud, guys. We can't wait to give you what you want, which is a semblance of a government that gets it and is capable of assisting you with your problems, right? That's what we are excited for, right? We're excited for, and we're going to continue to fight for, We're going to continue to fight every single day until the last breath, guys. Because, we love the people of the city of Wayne, Michigan. And we love our neighbors. We love our community. We love the people. We'll put it that way. And we love the potential that the city of Wayne, Michigan has if under good leadership. So we can't wait to work for you and try to get this shit show back on track, Because it only takes a majority on the city council. Super majority would be better, though. A super majority would be more ideal. But hell, a 7, because right now we have a super majority of status quo bootlicking clowns, right? Stage 3 hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, and every other ease in between. Nothing of any redeeming quality right now currently is on the city council. Bunch of dinosaur boomers, cucks. I call them the Wayne cucks because they're definitely not no zebra. They're not a horse or a donkey. They are a cuck. The Wayne cucks, the council cuck, the cuck council. We'll fix that, guys. We'll fix all that. Get done with that shit. Just like Pete said, Hegsteth, right? He said, we're done with that shit. Yeah, we are done with that shit. But yeah, guys, we'll check in with you later. See you now.